Step back in time to the autumn of 1888. In the heart of London, the gas lamps of Whitechapel cast long, menacing shadows down its narrow, cobbled streets. This was a place of extreme poverty, a desperate maze of alleyways where survival was a daily struggle. But in the midst of this hardship, a new, unparalleled terror was about to emerge. A shadowy figure, known to history only by his chilling nickname, would begin a reign of brutality that would grip the city in fear and create a mystery that endures to this day. This is the story of Jack the Ripper. Over 130 years later, the name still sends a shiver down the spine. Who was this phantom of the London slums? Why did he commit such gruesome acts? And how did he vanish without a trace? Join us as we journey back into the fog-shrouded nights of Victorian England to unravel the chilling legacy of the Whitechapel murders, explore the lives of the women he targeted, and examine the suspects in one of the world's most infamous unsolved cases. The story of Jack the Ripper is inextricably linked with the district of Whitechapel. In the late 19th century, this was one of the most impoverished areas in London. Overcrowded lodging houses, rampant disease, and a constant struggle for food and work were the reality for its residents. It was a community on the very edge of society, and it was here that the killer found his hunting ground. The social conditions of the time didn't just provide a backdrop for the crimes, they were a crucial part of the story. The poverty and desperation faced by many women in the area forced them into vulnerable situations, making them easy targets for a predator lurking in the darkness. The official timeline of the Ripper's terror is concentrated on a period of just a few months in late 1888. During this time, 5 women, now known as the Canonical Five, were murdered. Their names were Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. While police files of the era link up to 11 murders in the area to the same killer, these 5 are most confidently attributed to Jack the Ripper, due to the horrifyingly similar and brutal nature of their injuries. These weren't random acts of violence. They were calculated, escalating in their savagery, and designed to instill terror. Let's talk about the victims. It's crucial to remember that these were real women, not just names in a history book. Mary Ann Nichols, the first of the Canonical Five, was found on August 31st. A week later, Annie Chapman's body was discovered. The city began to panic. Then came the infamous double event on September 30th, when both Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes were killed in the same night. The final and most gruesome murder was that of Mary Jane Kelly, who was attacked in her own room on November 9th. These women, often dismissed at the time due to their difficult circumstances, were mothers, daughters, and sisters whose lives were tragically cut short. Understanding their stories is key to understanding the true horror of these crimes. The investigation was, by modern standards, hopelessly outmatched. Forensic science was in its infancy. Scotland Yard was overwhelmed, facing immense public pressure and a wave of hysteria fanned by the press. Hundreds of people were interviewed, and several were arrested, but no conclusive evidence could ever be pinned on a single suspect. The police were dealing with a killer who left no clues, who struck with terrifying speed and precision, and who seemed to melt back into the labyrinthine streets of Whitechapel as if he were a ghost. Vague and contradictory witness descriptions only added to the confusion, making the task of identifying the killer seem impossible. A huge part of the Jack the Ripper legend was created by the media. This was a new era of sensationalist journalism, and the Whitechapel murders were the biggest story of the decade. Newspapers competed to publish the goriest details and the wildest theories. They gave the killer his famous name, supposedly from a letter sent to a news agency, though its authenticity is still debated. This media frenzy created a myth, a larger-than-life bogeyman that both terrified and fascinated the public. The constant coverage fueled a culture of fear, but it also cemented Jack the Ripper's place in popular culture, transforming a criminal into a terrifying icon of Victorian horror. So, who could have been Jack the Ripper? The list of suspects is long and varied, ranging from obscure individuals to prominent figures. Over the years, theories have pointed to doctors, butchers, immigrants, and even members of the royal family. One of the most compelling suspects in recent years is Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant who worked as a hairdresser in Whitechapel and suffered from severe mental illness. Some modern analyses, including controversial DNA evidence taken from a shawl allegedly found near one of the victims, have pointed to him. Other notable suspects include Montague John Druitt, a barrister who was found deceased shortly after the last murder, and Saurin Kosowski, also known as George Chapman, a poisoner who was executed years later. Psychological profiling of the killer suggests a man driven by a deep-seated rage, likely directed towards women. His methods, which became increasingly more brutal, show a desire for absolute control and power. The pattern of the crime suggests an opportunistic predator who knew the area intimately, allowing him to strike and disappear without being caught. He was likely a disorganized killer, acting on impulsive urges rather than long-term planning, yet his ability to evade capture suggests a chilling degree of criminal cunning. He was a paradox, a phantom who was both impulsive and ruthlessly efficient. Even after the murders stopped, the story was far from over. The legacy of Jack the Ripper has echoed through the generations. The case highlighted the appalling social conditions of London's East End, leading to some social reforms. But more than that, it left an indelible mark on our collective imagination. The unsolved nature of the case is its most powerful element. It allows for endless speculation, which has fueled countless books, movies, and documentaries. The Ripper has become a symbol of hidden evil, the monster that lurks just beneath the surface of civilized society. This enduring mystery has also given rise to a different kind of legacy, a ghostly one. The streets and pubs of Whitechapel are said to be haunted by the spirits of that terrifying autumn. The Ten Bells Pub, a place frequented by some of the victims, is a famous paranormal hotspot. Visitors and staff have reported strange phenomena and sightings of shadowy figures believed to be the ghosts of Annie Chapman or Mary Kelly. People walking the dark streets late at night have claimed to see apparitions resembling Polly Nichols, forever wandering the site of her murder. These ghost stories, fueled by the unsolved nature of the crimes, keep the chilling history of Jack the Ripper alive, turning historical tragedy into a modern-day haunting. Today, new research continues. Historians and amateur sleuths, known as ripperologists, constantly re-examine the evidence, hoping that modern techniques might finally provide a definitive answer. Whether through advanced DNA analysis, digital reconstructions of crime scenes, or newly discovered documents, the hunt for Jack the Ripper's true identity has never truly ended. He remains the ultimate cold case, a puzzle box that has captivated the world for over a century. The horrifying truth of who he was and why he did what he did may be lost to time, but our search for answers says a lot about our fascination with the darkest corners of human nature. The story of Jack the Ripper is more than just a tale of a serial killer. It's a story about a specific time and place, about societal failure, about the birth of modern media, and about the lives of 5 women who deserved so much more. It's a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved, leaving only ghosts and speculation in their wake. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the Whitechapel murders. What are your theories on who Jack the Ripper was? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this journey into history as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of history's greatest mysteries. We'll see you next time.